Okay, looks like that's good. YouTube. Was YouTube? What's happening, everybody?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty great. How about you?
Pretty good. Just got
All right.
home.
Yeah, we're from.
Oh, today was grocery day.
Oh, grocery day. I've been using Instacart and I really like it. I very much prefer it, honestly.
Well, I would like it if I was in a little bit more of a populated area, but
Yeah.
it really limits my choices because I kind of live out in the middle of nowhere. So basically, what I do is I go and I do like a COVID. There's two cities that I can go, and they're each like half an hour away.
Mm,
And so I'll go and check like the COVID positivity rate in each place, and whichever one's lower, that's the one that I go to. And I go every 2 weeks.
it's pretty smart.
It's just like, I don't feel like it's anything groundbreaking. I'm just like really grounded with science. It's like, okay, this is how I can control it. And plus, when I go to the local grocery stores, it's like probably less than 50% mask compliance here, whereas if I go to, like, the larger cities,
Yeah.
most of the people wear masks. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how it is.
Right on. Let me see here. I'm getting this link for everybody. Uh, let's see. Vimeo. There's Vimeo. Here's the YouTube link. Everybody wants to check out the video. Awesome.
I finally narrowed down the, cause of my big networking fiasco that I was dealing with.
Oh yeah, what was it?
So, it turns out it was the kernel extension file for my audio interface causing the whole problem.
Kernel extension file. So the text file for your audio interface.
Yeah, because I have Metric Halo stuff, and that's like it's over Ethernet. It's like audio over Ethernet. It's not
Yeah,
Dante, but it's like their own proprietary thing. And
sure.
so they have a kernel extension, and Apple support helped me just process of elimination because I realized like it's weird, like out of the Ethernet hub itself, or out of the Ethernet port right to my modem, it would have these packet loss. But then if I went through my older computer via the sharing internet feature, or if
Yeah.
I went over Wi-Fi, it's fine. So some dude at Apple support, like I got the right person finally, and he was like, "Let's go through all your launch daemons and your launch agents and your kernel extensions and delete them one by one until if and see if we can get it to like go away." And sure
Yeah.
enough, there it
Systematic.
was.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
just did you what did you do to ultimately fix it? You reinstalled your audio driver or your
I
your
tried
audio text?
I tried that and that has not worked. I in Metric Halo, I went into the forum because there's like a forum where people complain and moan about stuff, and I
Yeah.
made a post in there and nobody's responded to it yet. I was gonna give them like another couple days, and then if they don't, then I'm gonna put a support ticket. But in the meantime, I have my old Mac Pro sharing its Wi-Fi on the second Ethernet port to my newer Mac Pro.
Mhm. Huh. So that's really strange that a text file would like ultimately become corrupt because uh I mean that's just it seems like a really rare issue. Um perhaps once you get a hold of somebody at Metric Halo, you can get a replacement Kext and then put that in your EFI folder, and be done with it all, because that that is I would say a probably rare problem, and it might have something to do, like, well, no, it sounds like a pretty unique problem. Like, I don't, there's
Yeah.
not a lot of other people that are having that issue, right? Like, not a lot of other people have
No,
problems with the Kext. So,
no,
huh?
there were some people having issues with like high CPU
Yeah.
usage. Yeah. Over when you're sending the audio over Ethernet, and the solution to fix that was to go in and change like your MTU to jumbo sized packets.
Okay. So sort of
Because
like
like
increasing the buffer size almost.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yep, and
Interesting.
but I don't have that problem, at least that I'm aware of. At least I tried it and it didn't fix it. So I'm up and running the way it is, and so I'm not in a hurry, but it would be nice to have that fixed at some point, because right
Yeah.
now it's like I have to have this older computer on in order to have Ethernet for my newer computer, so that's
Yeah.
the only.
Sure. Well, I'm sorry that that's happening, but I'm glad you got it figured out, at least narrowed down, and you can begin to work on how to actually go about correcting those issues. So, I mean, because the Metric Halo stuff is renowned for being, pretty high quality. So that's it's kind of bizarre that it seems like a fluke almost.
Yeah,
Potentially just and if it came from if it's from the Kext, I imagine that's part of the installation, but it would have to be a level deeper than that.
right.
Um, because I don't think, and this is just my ignorance, but I don't, to my knowledge, I don't think that Kexts are installed with the installer. But I guess it would have to, right? Like, it'd have to be. Um,
Well, like on they're integrated, it's called MIO, it's like their console app,
yeah.
and they have like the firmware and the driver install like integrated into that app. So
Okay.
I mean it's kind of like an all-in-one type thing, and there's
Yeah.
really no I, I'm not aware of like any beta versions or anything like that. And I mean, I gotta wait until I talk to them.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm happy that you got that figured out.
Absolutely.
So you can get back to making music.
Yeah, right. Because I've been not, I signed up for sessions with you, and I've been dealing with this, and I
Yeah,
haven't
and
even
that probably
scheduled the
makes it
first
really
one
hard
yet.
to. Yeah, and that makes it really hard to actually go through and, I mean, do anything. Like, the internet is the lifeline of connectivity at this point in our culture.
Right.
So if that's bugging out and you're getting some random, situation with that, then of course that's obviously really irritating.
Yeah.
Well, having said that, you could feel free to sign up for those anytime. And
Yeah, I'm about to.
yeah, good. I'm ready. Ready to get these tunes mixed and start getting through through any barriers. What do you think are your number ones, like your, outside of the writing of the songs or anything like that? Like, when it comes to simply getting things sounding right, like, what do you think you're struggling with the most, and what do you think you're actually doing really well at yet? You know?
I feel like I have like stereo imaging down
Nice.
pretty good. I don't really struggle with width.
Yeah.
The main thing for me is my drums are always pokey,
Yeah.
and they're always like very transient heavy, because I kind of gravitate towards that.
Yeah.
And so then the issue becomes that I when I go to compress it to bring the dynamic range down, it just doesn't sound right to me. Um
Sure.
and I so that's kind of like my struggle, is like when I'm going to mix and master my songs, like a lot of my drums they're just too loud. And
Yeah.
when I start to bring them down, it's like I lose that punch, or it loses power sooner. But then like if I start to compress them,
Mhm.
even when I do like kind of like the tactics that all the different tactics that there are, like letting the transient through, and even like some of the I haven't done a lot of the new parallel stuff that Seth has showed us lately, but like I always have an issue with just getting the drums to kind of sit exactly right, like comparable to the references. Like for my liking. It's always
Yeah,
like they're
yeah.
either it's like they're either too loud, or when I take them so they're not loud, then they like lose too much, and it's just like this back and forth thing. Um and and then the other thing is I have this issue where I'll get the mix sounding how I like it, and
Mm.
then I start like really trying to slam it and compress it, and then I'm bringing up all these like resonances and like reverbs, and like just it's like mud that just shows up. Um, like when I'm turning the mix up, all of a sudden it's not clean anymore. You know,
Yeah.
so that's kind of like getting it up there and then having to like go back through and artfully kind of resculpt all that stuff so that it sounds the same.
Yeah. Here, something about that too that, oh, what's up, Trauma Ward? Saw that you popped in.
Trauma.
Who else is in here? Let me
Yo,
see.
how's it
Hang on.
going?
Let me see. There's somebody else in here, isn't there? Yes. Trauma. Oh, Patricia's here. Hi, Patricia. Her mic's turned off, but she can hear us. So, about the drums, that's an interesting one because I'm particularly fond of mixing drums and like trying to get those sounding right. And that's just something I've always really enjoyed. Um, and I've worked really hard to get better at. That's like one of the things I've always like been drilling myself on for years is trying to get like the drums sitting well. And
Right.
with that, I've learned a few things. What I've learned recently, and this is actually something that I had been reminded of after getting XO and starting messing with it more, is the tonal shift, the tone control. It's basically just a tilt EQ, and what I've
Right.
been doing is thinking of things in the most basic terms possible first. So basic level, basic tone shape, and then basic dynamics. And that's like kind of getting me pretty darn close these days. And what I mean by that is like first thing I'll do is adjust levels. Well, obviously, first thing I'm going to do is try to get the sound itself to be the right sound. And if it's like if I'm layering things, then make sure those layers are like the right layers playing at the right time. Because even nudging things can forward and backwards can help a lot. Pitching things can help. Polarity can help. Tuning can help. But aside from that, like adjusting level first, and if level doesn't seem to get it where you want it, going straight for some kind of a tonal adjustment where it is more or less going for bulk changes, what I'm going to call bulk changes, like avoiding specific notches, avoiding like bell curve EQs and going for more shelving. And it's counterintuitive to what a lot of people try to do much of the time, but like I've found benefit lately in doing large scale shifts to tonal balance. So like tilt EQ, just kind of readjusting the distribution of the highs to the lows in the broadest context possible, kind of medium to low Q value, really wide distribution of curve, and start like, reducing the highs to when you reduce the highs, you're essentially bringing up the lows. That's like, the opposite. So, just shelve the highs a little bit, then go back to level and adjust it there. And then if I that usually you can get pretty darn close that way, just going for shelving filters. And then if that doesn't work, then go for dynamics and like try to get the things to pop in the way you want. And a lot of it might even come back to just like basic sound again, like the sound choice coming into play again and kind of changing fundamentally the characteristics of that to facilitate those other things like tonal balance and levels and basic dynamics. Because that's one of the tricks that I got from the AU5. Well, just everything AU5 does is genius, but like one thing I really particularly like is how he can add a lot of smack to the low end of a drum sample with using a high pass filter that is starting high and then like a resonant high pass filter that just slams downwards really quickly, specifically with
Oh, yep,
snares.
yep.
And then that is
Yeah, I've
just
seen that.
such a good technique for getting things to pop, but that's going to thwack your dynamics. So almost universally these days, what I'm finding to be helpful to tame in those, like the stickiness that you're talking about. I've definitely seen that. A lot of that comes from like either overcompression or some kind of like usually too much highs, because a lot of times the highs will cause a lot of transient spikes. And so with that, like soft clipping is huge for drums, I think. I think that like that's why I love
Yeah.
the glue so much. The glue has just saved me so many times because I use the if I need something to be a little more snappy, then obviously use the compressor portion and then shove it into that soft clipping ceiling, and that just kind of levels everything back out again. And then of course after that adjust level again because if you're slamming it, you're screwing with your perception of how loud it actually is. So um, that's an interesting one. I'm eager to work with you to get that kind of situated because it could be a number of different things, but those are in general what I'm going to think are going to be the starting points. Is just kind of like working to get each sound just right on their own, and then whenever they start combining, when they're really
Understand, yeah.
right, when they're really right, they
Yeah.
will sit well together. Um, more evenly together
Yeah.
anyway.
It's just this struggle, and I know I'm overthinking it, and I know that I'm probably just be taking myself in circles, but it's like when I get my drums sitting where I feel they're right, then all of a sudden the track is never gonna hit the loudness target that I want. So then it's like
So
I'm
there's tricks,
pushing
yeah.
it.
You'll have
Yeah,
to like it's a circle, it's a big circle.
right.
Well, at the same time, that may or may not be the case. Like for example, you remember that episode that Seth had where he pulled up the stir fry track where it was the song was called Bricked. He was talking about it was
Yeah.
actually during the Lucid Lou thing. And Sterling's drums were so much louder than everything else. And that kind of facilitated that whole thing. Your mix might wind up sounding bonkers, or you can make it sound good and then have to go back to adjust it after the fact to get a loud master. Um, but I would say focus on just getting the mix sounding how you want it first, and then worry about like any tweaks necessary for the master later. Or if you already know exactly how you want the master to sound and you're referencing by like checking it through a limiter or through some soft clipping or something, checking how it would fold down, then you can know ahead of time and kind of make those changes in the moment. Um, I often use a glue compressor or something like that as a magnifying glass, kind of
Yeah,
to
that
check into it.
that was like the biggest thing for me is like getting rid of the whole true peak limiting thing as like
Yeah,
that's what has to be because I mean there was like so many times where I'm like I turn this limiting out like my track sounds good, it sounds punchy, it's right there, and then I do what you're supposed to do,
mm,
what everybody says, what all the streaming gurus say, like don't go over zero, you need like true peak anywhere from like negative point 0.3 to like negative 1 dB of true peak limiting, and it just would just destroy the punchiness.
yeah,
And I'm like comparing it to tracks that I rip a lot of tracks off of Spotify for studying purposes,
sure.
because you're getting it right from the streaming medium, and it's a 320K MP3,
Hmm.
so I just like have Spotify streaming references because also you can see on there a lot of times who is putting up different versions of the same track and who is just putting their one single version that's super compressed, who's
Yeah,
taking advantage of the extra headroom.
exactly.
And I just always missed the whole these tracks are going over zero, and then like when Seth showed that and he did the demonstration, it was like, wow, there it is right there. Just clip it.
Yeah. And also there's the other thing too where you can have it soft clipped and the True Peaks hot, but then export it, with a gain utility after the soft clipping. That's a thing too. If you really want those true
Yeah.
peaks to be lower, so that it, and the reason why that they say that too, for context and perspective, is that if Spotify is going to automatically compensate for loudness, but if your true peak, depending on the playback medium, like for example, iTunes, I've had songs on iTunes like that would play back on iTunes that would literally clip my speakers, and it's because the true peak thing. Um, and Spotify, sometimes this happens with Spotify too. I think the Tool album, some people had told me that it was clipping through Spotify because of whatever normalization was going on within Spotify, and um, so that's usually why people are recommending that true peak thing to happen, just so you don't accidentally clip somebody's speakers that's trying to listen, and the back end is like adjusting the loudness or something after the fact, after the upload.
Right.
But having said that, you can still, like, you can soft clip all day long, avoid true peaking, and you're going to maintain your punch and all that, and then just export, turned down, like with like a utility or a gain control or something, just a little bit, because then Spotify will compensate for that. Like it will turn you back up, and you'll be fine. But the file itself won't be, pushing that threshold. And that's just my understanding of it. I mean, I could be completely off base with that, but that's the way I understand why they say that. But yeah, and also it just comes back to like the fact that it's a limiter like the fact that it's a limiter is part of the problem. Not the problem, but that's part of the difference anyway. Like compared to a true soft clipper, because like you ever seen the diagram of like limiting versus clipping? It's I don't. Let me see if I have it. Let me see if I can find that picture, because I mean, in essence, what it is like if you have a sine tone and then at a low level, and then the sine gets really loud. I'm talking like instantaneously, just a loud level, and then it immediately goes back to the quiet level again. And you run that signal through a limiter and a clipper. They're going to respond very differently. The limiter will grab onto the transient pretty quickly, but then as soon as the loud signal is out of the limiter, it's going to, you'll see, it's going to have that release control. So it's going to be, responding a little differently. And where, the soft clipper doesn't have any timing controls at all. So it's just going to be lobbing those peaks off. And so that's why usually soft clipping is, desirable, especially for drums. Soft clipping just maintains transients really well.
Yeah.
I found drums just love clipping. Like drums really do love soft clipping.
I think so.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, I thought somebody else said something. Maybe it was feedback. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, I'm eager to work on all that stuff with you, man. That's gonna be fun. Getting all the low end dialed in, getting the drums right, because that's really it. Like I've been really impressed lately with pop music drums, like specifically like 24 Karat Magic and Ariana Grande mixes. Like, geez, I love those songs. Like they are so well done. All like every aspect of the promotions or of the productions, I mean, are just like the 100% all the way through. Like the songwriting is amazing, the performances are amazing, the mixing is impeccable, the production is on just a whole nother level. So it's I've just been so into the. There's one song in particular. What was it? It was two songs. God is a Woman has always impressed me for its production level, and then
Same.
No Tears Left to Cry was the other one. That song is mixed so well, like, and it's Serban Gania, like that.
I was
It's
just about to ask, like, was it
yeah,
him? Was
yeah.
it him?
Of course it's him. Like, yeah, and like, well, and also that's the other level too. It's not only just him; it's Max Martin and Ilya Salmanzada all at the same time. It's like,
The trifecta.
yeah, it's this like, and with Ariana Grande's amazing vocals performing on it, it's just like, geez, this is ridiculous. Like, this is the pinnacle of the music industry. I've really leaned into that style of, like, if you want what I am just like loving right now as far as like the mix, like those two songs, God is a Woman and No Tears Left to Cry, the mixes, I'm just so aggravated at how good they are. And but they're simple, which is the weird part about it. Like the sound choice is just, it seems simple, but that's what's amazing about it. And what's cool is, like, that, I mean, even though Serban Gani is literally one of the best mixing engineers on earth, the songs come to those guys and gals real polished already, like really flippin' polished, and they just take it over the finish line. But those changes they make just make the difference, Yeah, it especially like 24 Karat Magic, that was a good one. I feel like Serban Gania mixed that one too. Of course he did. Yeah, like really loving their drums and just that pop style, because like I'm not really that big into pop music per se. It's just the sound quality and like the smoothness of the impact. It's still got impact. It's the balance of it all. I really really mess with all that. Like I love it so much. And whereas a lot of like electronic music, I mean, the kind of music I really like a lot of the time is pretty aggressive. I mean, I like a lot of aggressive music too, as well as really tranquil stuff. But like, it's always the drums that get me. And lately, that's why I like AU5 so much, or at least one of the reasons, because his drums are really well mixed and they're just so slappy all the time. Big props to all of those people for their freaking talent and their drum mixing. Who do you all listen to? Who do you think has like really good, good mixing, good production? Like, anybody?
Death Pact.
Death Pact?
Yes.
I need to look this up. What is Death Pact? Send me a link. Put it in the Chattown chat.
Okay, hold on.
I've been digging a lot of the new Cohen sound stuff lately, but
okay.
In addition to that, there's all of these kind of drum and bass artists who are making kind of like liquid, but like techie liquid stuff, and I can't like maybe like Imanu or
Post some links. Post some links
than that. Yeah, I will. And it's just, I like I'm listening on my speakers, and I have like reference monitors. I've got these focals, so it's like I can hear when the stereo imaging is like on another level, and like a lot of those tracks, they're not so concerned with batshit crazy loudness. So then like they can breathe, and then there's just more stereo imaging, so that I feel, like I have my monitors like 7 feet apart, midfield configuration, because they're midfield speakers. And all of a sudden the sound stage is like just wide and just tall and wide, and it's like just a different thing, and then like a lot of the other stuff that I personally like as kind of more, not so much like a stereo width reference, but as like a warmth reference, is a lot of the stuff that's coming out on like the Anjuna Deep label, and kind of that whole sphere of like
God, I love them.
chill type house music and like ambient and down tempo, like that.
I'm excited to hear all this.
And just like the low, but the problem is like the tracks that I end up making right now, those are like my references for the sound, and maybe where I personally would like to kind of start maybe a new project. But like the stuff that I have and I've made now is not that type of music, so those are more just like mixed references kind of thing, and it's like not like when we watched Wolfed. Like when we watched Seth work on Wolf's track, I was like, man, when you have 2 tracks that literally it's the same type of like deep dubstep with the same kind of patterns and the same, like it just seemed like it was easier. Not saying that it was easy, but it was just like, man, these references are really dialed in.
Yeah, they're like he's right down the plate for that style.
Yeah, because like sometimes I've found when I'm using mix references, like the tempo change can throw me off. So
Mm.
it's like if I want to like have if I want to like pull a specific element, you know, like let's say I want to mix the low end from one of these like deep house tracks, but I'm gonna apply it to like a more of like an R&B or like a future bass type beat or something that I'm working on. Like switching back and forth between two different tempos as mix references. If you're trying to take timing of like the envelopes of the sounds into account, it can kind of throw you off a little bit because it's like,
Sure.
are my sounds too punchy? Are you know, and like they because it's a different tempo, everything has a different timing profile. The ambiances are longer or shorter. You know, and I mean that's just like one thing that I always find myself doing is cross tempo referencing, and then like that's it's difficult, but then it's hard for me to find references in the same tempo unless I'm exclusively building my tracks like how we did in the last session, where I'm like kind of using one of those arrangement references as also like a mix reference, you know, so
Yeah.
the
Together.
timing of the sounds are the same, you know, that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, well, I think you're not alone in that. It took me a while to kind of get to how to actually use the references, how to actually um, get to where I understood how to use them. Um, and with the tempo thing, I mean, it is going to be different because if you're like you say you're trying to reference like the envelope shapes and all that kind of stuff, I do think you're gonna have to play some give and take there. Um, and like for example, with the house music thing referencing with like an R&B sort of style, you're going to have a different genre anyway, so it's going to be, you know, because of that there's going to be stylistic differences that will lead you to make certain choices. um Still, they all do have sort of a standard with all of that sort of stuff. And if you listen specifically listen with like low pass filters engaged, or use a multiband and things like that to like solo the low band and listen that way and do your comparisons narrower in frequency, that can help you get perspective on it whenever the just between the levels. Really, guys, like that's what you're trying to listen for is the levels. And if it helps you, even use like a linear phase band pass filter that you make in FabFilter, and have that move that at various points up and down the reference to see, how much that one frequency range, like that kick sticks above the instrumentation at this frequency range. Okay, how about this other frequency range? And move that little horseshoe, of the band, like just move that lower and higher to see if your kick is actually sitting amongst your elements the same way that their kick is sitting amongst their elements. Because what you'll find when you do that is like, oh, okay, their kick pretty much disappears at like 2K. My kick has frequencies up at 6K and it's jumping above the hi-hat. Things like that. You'll
Right.
start to notice that kind of stuff. So you can get pretty granular with how you're actually referencing them, and just know that there is some give and take, but also really, as long as you're getting the levels, the broad levels right, it shouldn't hinder you too much, which is good. And a lot of it is going to come back to making sure that the references are level matched and et cetera, just so that you're not confusing yourself on trying to hit a loudness target that's of a mastered song in a mix.
Yeah.
Having said that, I do want to show you. Let's see. Let's go over to Ableton really quickly, and let's see here. I've got to do here. I've got to think about what I got to do here. Making sure the stream can see. Yeah. All right. Cool. So I'm gonna jump into Ableton really fast and show you. There we go. Okay. So let me grab a reference track here. Let me think of which one to get. In fact, let me get out of sharing for just a second so I can. Let me get out of sharing for just 1 second so I can find a good reference track for us. And I want to take a look at some of the low end of some of these tunes. Who popped in? Thomas Xavier. Speaking of house music, there he is. Thomas Xavier, do you like house music?
I live in it.
See if I can find a good reference in here. Actually, let's use one of Thomas
Speaking
Xavier's
of house
tunes.
music, I really like Tachami and him.
Yeah, actually post all the references that you want in the Discord there so that I can check it out later, because I'm really eager to hear what people are listening to these days. I don't really listen to a whole lot of music. Other people usually have to show me music because I'm usually so lost on what's hip.
I'm usually just stuck in my ways. I'm like, this works for this. This works for that.
I heard a new one today on the radio, but I didn't get to listen to it on my rig yet, so I don't know if it qualifies as a reference. But it's that "Sky Is Crying" song by Zoo and Yuna. I'll post a link to it.
Yeah, post a link. That'd be cool.
It's like house, kind of like that chill type house, you know, but not too chill. Kind of has like a tech vibe to it too.
Trying to find here. I'm going through references that people have sent me for. Oh, that's a weird one. ATLians, they have some strange mixes. Trying to find a good reference here. Who popped in? One Kiss. What up, One Kiss? Oh, by the way, let me see if anybody's having problems. Type in the chat, and here, let me just see if I can. Try that now, and see if you can unmute yourself. Like sometimes people have problems unmuting themselves. Here's a couple tracks. Let's see what these sound like. Oh, computer's having to download them. That's okay. I hear people popping in.
Thomas is back.
Oh, hey, what up? Okay, cool. So let's share screen now. Yeah, no. Oh, One Kiss doesn't have a mic. That's okay. All good. We can still chat. Awesome. So I got a couple tracks here. I'll take a listen to these really quickly.
Is there a Audio Movers link?
There's about to be. Let me grab that one. So apparently, Audio Movers can now support 16 channels of audio, which is really cool. Actually, I'm going to do this in case it... there you go.
That's like Ableton intro capabilities or Lite, something like that.
Ableton Lite, yeah. Let's see here. Here is the listen to link. Yeah, so I don't know how to get it to work. I've actually I have downloaded the new version, but I haven't figured out how to actually get that to happen. I don't know if it's just that you have to submit, like you drop it on multiple tracks. Like I really don't know exactly. See, right now it says streaming channels 1 and 2. So can everybody see that? Yeah, everybody should be able to see that here. I really don't know exactly what. Maybe if I just duplicate it. Oh yeah, you can just duplicate it. That's awesome. See, 3, 4. Really, really cool. Oh,
so you can stream your whole everything, like a whole mix. I wonder how that goes if you're streaming like 24-bit PCM, 16 channels.
Yeah, you know, that's a good question. Let's actually, hey, you want to try it? let's try this actually. Instead of I was going to focus on the references, but we'll come
Yeah.
back to that in a sec. But for now, let's try this. So I'll grab, for example, I don't know what happened to.
While we're on the topic of audio movers too, I haven't really gotten too much into, but there's also the receive plugin or whatever it's
Yeah,
called. And I was just
yeah.
wondering kind of if you had an idea or could talk about like how that works or like what are the
Yeah,
use cases
it
for that.
it's all it is if you, instead of wanting to have the stream come into your browser, you can just have it pop up into Ableton. So you can actually record what I'm sending you. Just put
Right.
like copy that link and paste it into the plugin version of Listen To, the receiver, and it's, direct input into your DAW. So this is how you can actually do like remote collaborations and stuff pretty easily. They really made it
So you could
foolproof. It's great.
potentially do like 16 channels. You're outputting 16 different channels, and then I have the receive plugin on 16 recording channels and recording all separate channels that you're sending me at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually what I wanted to test really quickly. So I'm just going to pull up a basic kit here and to see, like, let's say here. Oh my gosh. I don't know what is happening. Oh, it's because it's playing back at some.
Does Patricia know what's happening, or are they able to?
Patricia is actually in Florida on vacation. She's probably just listening at the moment. She chilling. So let me actually turn my output monitor down. That's what I'll do. Yeah. There we go. All right, cool. So I'll just play a basic beat here. And right now I have it outputting 1 through 8. And what I'll do is just to get... let's get the audio playback happening from MIDI. Right there. Okay. So right now, everybody should be able to hear... wait. I have to set these to input. Exomain. There's 1. Here's 2. This is one of my number 1 gripes about Ableton, is that it doesn't give you the option that I'm aware of. If somebody knows how to do this, please let me know. That like how in Pro Tools you can highlight multiple tracks, hold some key command, and then set up one input, and it will cascade your inputs. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it'll do it automatically. If somebody knows how to do that with Ableton, please tell me how, because I
Only by
am
maybe like a preset, like make a setup and then like route the buses in advance and then drag it out as like a ALS file. That would be the
and
only way that I would
what's
know.
awful is like I've actually done that, and that's actually should have been already set up here. So I'm not really sure why it's not, but
Ableton 11 breaks everything.
this is Ableton 10 actually.
I retract my statement.
I've heard some funny things about Ableton 11 though. I have it, but I don't use it very often. All right, so there's some kicks. Can everybody hear that, by the way?
Yes.
All right, perfect. I gotta get a perspective on my levels here. That is coming out pretty hot. Turn that down.
So in Ableton 11, I just dragged my XO little thing that I had, and they were all still routed right.
Yeah, I think it might have been just my preset, how I saved it, or how I.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about it. Okay, holy shnikes. All right, cool. So I'm going to route both of these kicks to a third kick, to a third channel, just so I can have those together. And I'm just going to call that kicks. All right, cool. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop one listen to on the kicks, and that's the main one. So you should be only able to hear the kicks now. Like, I'm playing kick and snare, but if you can't hear snare, then it's working, right?
There's no snare in my headphones.
Perfect. So this is good. Okay, and then I've got another listen to here. Put that on 3 and 4. Let me copy this stream link, paste this one into here, and I'm gonna call this experimental linkage. Okay, and so in theory, we should actually. I'm gonna do this instead. I'm gonna group this puppy up, drop it on the group because of levels. So what should happen now is if you click on that link, you should have kick on one, snare on the other. And if somebody can confirm that, that will be dope.
I'm on the old link and I just hear the kick.
Yep,
Right,
it's
right.
both now. I just joined the second link too, so it's both now.
Oh, fantastic. So it worked.
Yep, both links work now. When I only had the kick at first, clicked the second link, now I got the kick and the snare. There is snare in my headphones.
Awesome. So, okay, so I guess that's how you do it. You literally just have to drag or just make a duplicate, and it will keep you logged into the same
Are you
session.
Still playing this now?
No, I'm not playing anything at the moment. Can you
Okay,
not
'cause
see?
I just got it.
Or
I just got it set up with my my audio movers listen to receiver.
oh,
I
okay,
have
great.
one set up in each channel.
Okay, I'll play it now, and tell me how it works.
Yep, it's good. I got it.
Yeah. See, so we could actually send each other multi-track drums, up to 16 tracks, which is really cool. Or I guess 8 stereo pairs. So that is really, really neat. Happy that they did that. And I can
Yeah,
see that
that's
8
pretty
people are
sweet.
connected. Yeah. See, once Abbey Road Institute bought, or I guess bought Audio Movers. I'm not sure exactly what that collaboration is or the situation is, but they have an agreement and they are working together. And ever since then, they've been modifying and improving here. So very, very neat to see that happen. So like, let's say, okay, so for example, let me bring that back. I didn't have to remake anything. It's still just the same. Yeah. Oh, no. So that's okay. So there's 3, 4. If I do it again, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it goes back to 3, 4. So
Yeah, so it's giving you a stereo pair every time.
yep. And I guess that might just be because Ableton always defaults to stereo pairs, but yeah, Ableton doesn't have mono tracks. So I'm guessing with things like Pro Tools, it will be smart enough to know whether or not what kind of audio is being input. And interesting. I like that. Oh, and what's great too, I didn't realize this had this option till now. Look at that. You've got a through mute. So like I can mute the monitor for myself. So I won't be able to hear it, at least as far as I understand. Or I can perhaps just mute it for everybody without actually breaking the link. So I'll play back real quick. So here's a test to see if it's working. It says 0 clients connected to the second link. So perhaps...
I'm hearing both.
Yeah, we don't have. I have 2 of your first link, and they're like phasing on each other, flamming.
Okay. Then I'll update this link here. And oh, whoa. Nobody clicked that yet. There we go. Okay. So I just updated the link in Discord. So I should see people popping up here when when somebody clicks on it. Just getting those basic, kick snare patterns in, but everybody can hear both. Is that right?
Well, no, actually, it's just kick, and I'm getting the flangey thing too with both
You-
those links.
Okay.
Same.
Okay, cool. So then what I'll do is I'll just delete them all. Make sure that's
Don't
They're
you
all
have to put them
gone.
on separate tracks?
they were.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now that they're gone, let me just make a brand new one here. This one's on the kick. Let me name it the same, so you shouldn't need to change anything for the first link. Okay, tell me what you hear. Anything?
Flangey kick.
You hear a
there's-
flangey
There's a
kick.
drop-down menu, and all that's available is stream channels 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah, I see 7 clients connected, so okay. And you said flangey kick. That's kind of weird.
It's just because like they're kind of like delayed off of each other by like I don't know a millisecond or two. So there's some kind of it's like a doubling. So it flanges.
Wait, you mean like the left and the right are like it's
I'm not sure, like, because I don't know what everybody else is, but I'm listening to it in Ableton. I have 2 audio channels pulled up. And it was right like before, but
Hmm.
now I'm not sure.
okay? Let me try it on the master
Yeah, it's
here.
like if the kicks were like a few samples apart from each other. It's like
Yeah.
This
Okay.
counts as science, people.
This is science. We're definitely doing research. And this is important, I think, because if we do the research now, Seth could maybe use this later on or like whenever, I don't know, it's just larger implications of us figuring this out now too. So,
Yeah, for sure.
so what about now?
I hear both drums.
I hear both, but
Yeah.
I have like duplicate, so the
Yeah.
snares flanging and the drums are, or the kick is.
Okay, so I'm just using one listen to on the master. So delete your second
Okay.
one, and you should be able to hear the kick and the snare together. And yeah, so okay, well that's a cool experiment. I mean, maybe if I just drag a brand new instance and log in again, and then name it the same, and set up everything identical. Oh, now see, that was interesting. I named it the same, and it automatically routed it for me. So as long as it's the same name, it will automatically route it, which is interesting. Okay, cool. So that's kind of cool. I like that.
Okay, now I have 3. Wait, I had 3 and 4.
I just deleted it. Yeah,
Okay.
I just
yep,
deleted it.
alright.
So like, yeah, I'll do it again just to show you. Yeah, I just dragged in a brand new instance here. I got to log in again, of course, and then name it the exact same thing. Chattown, and then set up the exact same timing and the same rate, and hit start streaming. Okay, now that time it didn't do it. Now that's
Are we
interesting.
still using the links in there? Because I'm still on those, and I like clicked another. Neither of them are working.
No, I haven't played anything yet. You should be good with those links. The first link anyway. The second link is the experimental one. Okay, yeah. So you just have to hit enter. I don't know why. You have to hit enter, and it will automatically reconnect you to the same session. So, if I'm not mistaken, people should now have a drop-down menu that says 3 and 4. Right?
Well, I gotta.
Yes.
Yes.
try to
Yeah, I do.
replace them, Yeah.
Okay, sick. So I'm gonna drag 3 and 4 to the snare, and 1 and 2 is gonna go back onto our kick. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong track. Yeah, so 1 and 2 is on our kick. 3 and 4 is the snare. Okay, and I'm gonna play it now.
It's working.
Sick. Okay, so I mean, I think it's just a matter of, you know, if it borks, break the connections, everybody hits refresh, and then just do it again, and it will ultimately work.
Yeah,
So that's kind of cool.
I just learned on the receiver side, you have to do the same thing. Like I had a separate instance of it and I would try to connect and it would just like sit there and spin and not connect. But then
Yeah.
when I went back to the first instance and hit the drop down menu, then I had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I could just drag a copy of that to the next channel and then it worked fine.
That's awesome. So yeah, there we go. That's really, really neat. I am happy that they are I'm happy. Why does it keep doing that? I'm really happy that they are updating everything and kind of keeping us moving with that. I mean, that's really flipping cool if you ask me, that we've gotten to this point, because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this used to be only a thing that you could do with kind of higher end applications, and Pro Tools had the ability to do this. They implemented it, and now, I mean, other software companies started getting on board and whatnot, but the Audio Movers thing really made it accessible for people and really easy to use. I mean, now it's just a matter of drag, drop, log in, hit go, and it just works. Really, really neat. I am thrilled with that. Let's get into some referencing.
Yeah, I would say the studio that I interned at, we had some distance recording. They were doing like some Audible shit, and I'm in Ohio, and they were recording in Cali, and it was like such a bitch to set up. We had to like come in like an hour early before the session to get all of it working, and this seems smooth.
Yeah, it definitely is a much better experience than other softwares like it. Chat Town. Why isn't it?
There's another software that came out recently by the makers of Mixed and Key called like Satellite Plugins, and I think it's free. They like made it free, and it's like a collaboration type thing where you can record audio and MIDI back and forth and inside of a session.
Record audio MIDI. Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah, I'll post the link to it too, and like I don't have anybody else to mess with it with, so I don't really know how good it is necessarily, because you kind of have to have like 2 people who play around with it. But
Right.
yeah, it's pretty cool, and as far as I know, it's free. Like I downloaded it for free and installed it. Like at first when it was first released, I thought there was like a payment or something, and I didn't jump on it right away, but then all of a sudden I got an email and it was like, this is now free, and I
I'll try it
downloaded
with you.
and yeah, we could check it out.
Cool. And it's basically a way to record audio and MIDI together like this.
It's like you have a what's called satellite sessions, and it's like the master app, and then there's satellite audio, which is like goes on audio tracks, and then satellite MIDI, and like you can record audio and it like it's like a Dropbox kind of, and it instantly like syncs the recorded audio into the other person's DAW that has the same plugin open, like the
Oh,
same
wow.
session of it. Yeah. And I said, I don't
So-
know, I can't vouch for how good it is or how well it works, but it is something that's out, and I do believe it's free. I'm gonna link to the website. I just gotta find it real quick.
Yeah, it says cross-platform. Yeah, here, hang on one second. I'll pull it up for us. Let me do that just to make sure everything is working.
Oh, here we go. Here's the page. It says, why is it free? And they said COVID's tough on everyone. We wanted to make it easier and safer for musicians.
Mix and Key. That's really cool. Hang on one second.
Wait, Mixed and Key?
Yeah,
It's by
that's the
same
company.
people.
Oh, I know them.
Yeah.
So they said we will have a permanent free tier with very few limitations, and there will be a paid pro
There we
level
go.
for satellite eventually. But in the meantime, use it up.
Wow. That's really, really neat. So, cross-platform collaboration.
Start using that for lessons. Ooh.
Honestly, yeah.
Welcome to Satellite Plugins 2.0.
Can you all hear that, by the way? If
The video?
oh,
Play it
wait,
for a
wait, wait,
second.
wait, hang on. You need me to do this. Give
So
me
this is kind
one.
of like the more malleable version of Listen To, where you can actually like manipulate someone's project. So it does kind of bridge that gap of like, I'm streaming my screen, but you want to make an adjustment in it. So
Yeah, it seems to be something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what is happening right now with chat.
yeah, speaking of which,
Oh,
can I still send you that project for tomorrow's session too, Clint? I'll just collect it all and save it. I'm
Yeah.
just mastering. I have like 4 tracks for my EP done and mastered, but I have one in particular I'm just struggling to get above -7 LUFS without distortion. And I've like gated all my drums, and like I don't know that maybe there's some hidden thing I'm not fucking seeing in it, but yeah, I've just been one track in particular. I'm just having a hard time getting it loud. I don't know why.
yeah, no worries. I will. We'll take a look at it tomorrow. Not a
My
big
other
deal.
question is, when you're
Yeah.
serial limiting, I'm using the Newfangle, and I like the transparency of it, and I almost feel like if I just use the first limiter, I could get it to like -10, and I've just been like exporting it with only the first limiter on for my SoundCloud sessions. Because instead of like, maxing it out and then turning a bunch of shit down, if I just use one limiter and it's like clipping it at like 0.03 dB of reduction, it's like pretty much not distorting it at all and it's super transparent. And then I feel like it sounds better in SoundCloud. Have you ever done that before, where you just like don't do a ton of limiting on it on certain genres? Because I feel like house in particular, the more I compress it, the further forward the kick starts getting pushed in the mix.
Yeah.
So
Can you repeat the question one more time? I'm sorry. I'm trying to like juggle all of it at once. What was it? Can you ask one more time?
yeah, no worries. So yeah, no, I was just pretty much I'm just really looking for direction on like kind of when I'm leveling everything, because I'm mixing in the red so loud, and then I'm like
Oh,
turning
yeah.
everything down to like master. So I'm just wondering if maybe I'm like fucking something up in that process on the track in particular, because the other ones I'm like getting to -6, which is where all my references are, and I'm not distorting. So I don't know.
It's got to be something to do with dynamics or with just frequency distribution. It has to be that, because there's kind of a physics principle, a physics-based set of curves that if you follow that with frequency distribution, like you'll always be able to get it within a rough like approximation of loudness.
Yeah, it's
So,
kind of like a cup. Like a volumetric bowl. It's like you can pour headroom in. It's just, are you hearing the headroom? And is it the headroom? Is it the distribution of it you want? Because yeah, when I'm mixing
Yeah.
in the red, I have to mix my kick and snare like way loud before it gets compressed. Otherwise, it's not in the mix at all. So that's why mixing in the red has been hugely beneficial, because I used to mix quiet and then I'd go to fucking master, and my mastering process would take like 5 days, because it's like, oh, this is off. Now that's off. Now I need to turn that up. And then all of a sudden you lose track of your headroom, and you're like eating all your fucking headroom up into your limiter and shit. So really, I'm just like, so it is just a physics problem. It's kind of like how Lucid Lou, when he had that drone going, it's like that one drone was eating up his headroom, and there's no way to physically make that loud, because that was eating up the headroom in the physics equation.
Literally. And also with yeah, that's literally it. It's just got to be some kind of balanced distribution that is happening, because like it's just a box and you're trying to put shit in the box. You got to rearrange it so that you can squash it. You know what I mean? It's there's something that is prohibiting that, and it might just be, I'm gonna guess that it's probably overall distribution, overall balance. But we'll see. We'll tomorrow, send me the track and we'll take a listen to it.
What's that artist that was making that brick shit too? I like that. That shit was fucking.
Oh, that's
different.
my buddy Stir Fry. That's Sterling Scott, Stir Fry, STERFRY. Check him out. He's a he lives around me. We fly drones together. As a homie. That's a super homie.
I love that. That shit was fucking different fun.
His music's really crazy. He's really good. And what is awesome about Sterling is he is a wildly creative person and is a multi-talented instrumentalist. So I'm gonna shamelessly plug Stir Fry here. Yeah, go check out. Of course, that would happen. yeah, go check out Stir Fry on SoundCloud or Spotify or whatever. And yeah, there's the tune Bricked. His music is really wild and all over the place, and what's awesome is he's not afraid to do what he wants to do, and I really like that. He really likes the kind of like Saruda, sort of Carmack, that sort of style. And being a multi-instrumentalist, he's also like really big into, he plays like jazz saxophone, he writes crazy chord progressions, and he plays violin. He's multi-talented. So yeah, everybody go go follow Stir Fry, because that is a multi-talented human being, and he is his music's really crazy. One of my favorite tracks, I think it's called The Internet, or I think it's this one, The Sauce, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyways, his music's all over the place, and it's all really fun. And that Bricked song is pretty mental. I got the listen to plugin moved over to the master output of my computer, so everybody should be able to hear this. I'm just going to play this video for us, get an idea of what they have to say for themselves about the plugin itself, if everybody's down. So here we go.
Welcome to Satellite Plugins 2.0, the groundbreaking new music collaboration software by Mixed In Key. It's the fastest way to collaborate with anyone, anywhere, without ever leaving your door.
Now I'm getting
Here's
no
how to
audio.
get
Is that me?
started with Satellite.
Maybe refresh. It should be
Yeah, I
streaming.
don't
Says
have it.
I'm connected to 2 people. Here, I'll repaste this link
Okay,
just to
I'll-
be sure. Here. Let me get rid of that experimental linkage. We don't need that one. Let's just go for, yeah, it's a different link. Okay, there you go. Apologies. Wish there was a way to have it opened pretty easily in multiple locations. Pretty soon, I won't be using this laptop anymore. I've got the Hackintosh built. The other night after our stream, 1 week ago today, I built the Hackintosh. It is flawless. It works really well. Shout outs to anybody rocking a Hackintosh. That is the way to go.
Yeah, did Gus hook you up?
No, I haven't talked to Gus actually. I used OpenCore.
Sick. Okay, dope.
Yeah, OpenCore.
Yeah,
It's a.
mine. I can't afford this new Hackintosh.
Well, what's great is if you've got the right hardware, it's free essentially. Yeah, this is the site I followed, OpenCore Multiboot, and I mean, it literally runs you through absolutely everything you need. It even has pre-configured files, etc., etc. Let's go to dark mode. There you go. So yeah, really, really cool. If anybody's interested in learning how to install multiple operating systems, etc., OpenCore is a good method. Yeah, worth it. But anyways, hopefully I won't be on this little laptop any longer, and we will be able to. I'll be working. Well, I guess I kind of need the Windows machine up. It needs to be booted into Windows to be able to stream. So I don't know. It looks like I'm stuck with a Mac for now anyway. Okay, damn. Either way, everybody should have audio. So let's give this a whirl.
Welcome to Satellite Plugins 2.0, the
Everybody have audio?
groundbreaking new music collaboration software by Mixed In Key. It's the fastest way to collaborate with anyone, anywhere, without ever leaving your
Oh,
door.
No,
Here's how to get
hang on.
started with.
I'm not seeing levels.
Yeah, my link still says 0000.
Yo, I got you. Give me 2 secs. I got you.
Welcome to
How about now?
Satellite Plugins 2.0, the groundbreaking new music collaboration
Trauma
software
War,
by
is that
Mixed
you in
In
the
Key.
chat there? That
It's
Death
the
Pack
fastest.
stuff, or who's that?
Yeah,
Oh, it was,
that's it.
yeah.
Are you on 3 and 4 or?
Do you like
Oh,
that?
it is 3 and
Like
4
main
apparently.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was the issue.
What?
here.
Me? No, I am
Okay.
not death packed.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'm like, I thought that was
We
like
are death packed.
his name was Robert Paulson.
His name was Robert Paulson. Great movie. If anybody doesn't know, that's a good movie. Fight Club. Check it out. Yeah, it's 3 and 4. I don't know why it connected me to 3 and 4. So that might be why people aren't hearing it. Huh. Try it again.
Way to collaborate with anyone, anywhere, without ever
Anybody have
leaving
audio?
your
I
door.
hear it now.
It's
Here's how to
working.
get started
Cool.
with Satellite Plugins. Go to mixedinkey.com/satellite and
Getting a
download
flange
satellite
issue, though.
plugins for Mac or Windows.
Hmm.
Activate your account and open your door of choice. I'm in Ableton Live. Add
Oh, it is
Satellite
kinda
Sessions
choppy.
Yeah, that
as
was
a
me. I just had
VST
two
or
links
AU
open.
instrument plugin on
Oh, okay. All right. I'll keep playing it.
a blank new
Yeah, you're
MIDI
good.
channel. This is your project hub. All audio and MIDI tracks that get shared in the session will be added to it.
Oh,
Every
whoa.
participant in the session will see and hear the exact same stems in their own Satellite Sessions plugin. Next, add satellite audio to any audio channel that you want to share. Satellite audio is record-enabled by default, so don't turn that button off. It should be illuminated red. The corresponding channel in Satellite Sessions will also be lit up red. This means Satellite Sessions is ready to receive whatever audio you now play into your satellite audio-enabled channel. I have
What?
added satellite audio as an insert on Captain Beats MIDI channel. Pressing play in my DAW instantly tells satellite plugins to capture the audio output. Pressing stop ceases recording in satellite plugins.
Oh my
You
gosh.
can add any additional audio
Yeah,
you
this
like
is
by adding
insane.
satellite audio to the corresponding channel. This includes VST instruments and external devices such as hardware synths, guitars, vocals, you name it. I'm going to record a simple
What?
chord progression played on my Korg Minilog XD. To do this, I add satellite audio to an audio channel. This time, it's an external audio channel. For external instruments, please ensure your DAW is set to input monitoring. I know what you're thinking. Yes, that is quite a sweater. I have also set Ableton to capture the MIDI for my
was
chords
thinking that.
too. You'll see why
Same.
shortly. Now we have some drums and chords. Let's
This
add
is
some
great.
bass. I'm using Captain Play and my computer keyboard this time, but any instrument will also work. Adding satellite audio to the channel means Satellite Sessions is now picking up my audio output into a new
Wait a second. What the hell are we doing? Let me download this. Somebody download this and play with this with me now.
I have it.
Awesome.
I
All
have
right,
it
I'm installing
installed
this.
already.
I'm installing this right now. This is
Mr. Event Horizons inducted
Yeah.
to the VIP.
yeah, this is great. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen while I get this installed, and let's play around with this. This is crazy. So
Thomas, you don't know who Death Pact is?
should he know?
No one knows, but everyone knows.
No, I don't know. I've never.
They make like 110 BPM stuff, don't they?
Yeet.
Yeah, I've heard of them. They're kind of like, didn't they kind of like ride on the cyberpunk wave, or come in recently with that whole thing?
I feel like they can't be labeled.
No, I know. I just feel like,
But yeah, I feel like that's where like I saw them
big-
first, and I kept
yeah,
on seeing that name. You know,
I've seen the name too. I don't remember where it was. There's another like 110 BPM artist like called Perfect God, or I don't know what it is, something like
oh, that's me.
that.
Let's see. Satellite Sessions. Okay. It should be installed. Yo, this is about to be insane. I mean, this is next level. I mean, they said that they're having a free tier that's always available. I'm really curious what their paid tier is going to include, because I mean, it's going to be probably like a complete little workstation inside of your workstation or something. Probably even more integration, I'm guessing. Something like that.
So this works with multiple DAWs, right?
Oh yeah, it's just a VST or an AU or whatever. Okay, well,
All right, we're gonna try it with Logic once it gets downloaded on mine too. So we'll see.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, sweet. So I am back in, and I'm back. So let's stop streaming on this one. We might have to get another listen to, but I will try not to. So give me 1 second.
I'm hung on. I created a session, and it's like hung on connecting to session. So
In satellite sessions, you mean? Like,
yeah,
do I have to
like
log in?
remote it, yeah.
Do I need? Oh, I have to make it. I have to make an account. That makes sense. I should have known that. For best, please use VST versions. Oh, I love that. They're like actually actively encouraging you to use VSTs over AU. I love that so much. All right, satellite sessions.
Can't you just make AUs not even visible in Ableton?
Yeah, you can. Not connecting to the software. Oh, that's on me. Hang on. I gotta approve that through my firewall. Give me 1 second. Boop. Okay, once this is all up, the stream will get it. For anybody who's watching the YouTube or Vimeo link, 1 second. Let's try that again. Okay.
Yeah.
For anybody who...
stream are we in?
What's that?
What listen to are we in?
Right now, we're not in one. I had to close Ableton, so we are not currently in one.
Yield Ableton's is down.
Yes.
Oh, so the question I was asking before is when I'm serial limiting, if I just turn off the second limiter, I'm getting like a transparent image. Do you have any recommendations? Because I saw him changing the mode on the Pro L2 to potentially transparent on one of them on the limiting. Do you have any recommendations when using Newfangle and when doing serial limiting? Because I do notice if I push it hard on the second one, I get some modulation. So
I don't have any recommendations at the moment because I haven't messed with all of the modes enough to really know. I would say I would just have to listen to it, man, to be honest. I can't really, off the top of my head, recommend one or the other. It just kind of might depend. I would say the transparent mode might probably be the best way to go because of just the nature of it, but kind of hard to say.
yeah, so I'm using the Newfangle, which I feel is almost like a transparent mode Pro L. To my ears, it sounds very transparent. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, at the moment, it's hard for me to say, to be honest with you.
We'll smash it tomorrow. I'll let you smash my track bits tomorrow and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so I'm should be signed in now. Start use. Let me get back to where people can see. So let's go to the stream can see, and now let me get over here so that the Discord can see. Where's Discord? There we go. Let's go share screen. Okay, so here's where I'm at. We've got here, start here, best way to use this plugin, how to add and download track. Let's just go for it. Let's just start using it. Create a new session. Let's join it. James, you said you already got a session, right?
Yeah, yep. I just finished updating it, so I have it open right now. So I'm on the same screen you are.
Sick.
Okay, great. So I will create a session for us. Yes, that is allowed. Okay, name the session, Bob. I don't have a key. Yeah, okay. Let's let up the session named Bob. That is our session name.
This is the window where I was getting hung up at, like it wasn't doing it.
Okay, well, I imagine what's happening is it's probably having to create a cert. Yeah, right here. So I will say allow. It has to create a virtual space on the servers that they're using. I imagine it might take a second to fully connect and integrate because it, well, yeah, I just imagine it might take some time. Oh, this is exciting though. This is exciting.
Do you know if there are any virtual processing systems for DAWs right now? I know
there
like
are.
You said,
there are. I don't know the names of them, but if you type in Let's go. Let's see here. Let's go to back here really quickly. And I think it's like virtual analog processing, like 1176. I'm just gonna type in like all the words that might mix analog. That's what it is. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
This is the place. They have legitimate real gear with robots turning the knobs, and they give you like a virtual version of it, and you turn the knob on the GUI, and it will physically turn a knob, or it's networked, which is really crazy. I mean, they have a lot of really nice stuff. I mean, they have a Fairchild, that's a $40,000-$50,000 unit. You know, that's nuts. So, oh hey, our session invite ID, create invite session. Okay, I maybe need to make this a little more complex. So let's go like 8675309.
Yeah.
8675309.
Love it.
Maybe I have to. Maybe there's something else. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I should have read that guide. Maybe I should have read the instructions.
User manuals are for us late at night, not.
Yeah. Perhaps I should have reviewed the Yeah, no, that's probably what I'll do here. Let's try that. Okay. See, and it says create a session. So join a session, session dashboard, settings. Okay, I'll mess with that later. Session dashboard? Session history? Join a demo session? I would rather just make my own, create a new one. Yeah. Do I need to pay for it? Is that like... Oh, hey, okay. That seemed to work. I guess it had to be a sufficiently complex session name. I guess we will write in the key of A minor for ease of use. James, did you get past this?
I'm reading the little instruction manual right now.
Nice.
I'm always on the bleeding edge with these things. Like, I'm telling
That's
you
awesome.
that I'm seeing them, and I'm like, hey, check this out. Not having fully explored it necessarily myself, you know.
Well, hey, you know, you have shown me more plugins and software and new toys than about anybody. So, you know, keep on that bleeding edge. I'm liking it.
It's just my email account. After 10 years of buying everything, you know, you just get spammed by everybody.
Yeah. Everybody wants you to sign into their stuff. Everybody wants you to sign into their subscription service too. Okay, well, I am still connecting to a session, so I am not sure exactly what is going on here with this. How-to guide. Open or start a project. Once you have something to share, open satellite sessions.
I'm trying to find a troubleshooting page.
Hosting a session. Once you go to here, let me do this. Everybody should be able to hear. Make a new output. Let's go here. Let's go there. Wait. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so now everybody should just be able to hear the internet without me having to use listen to.
It couldn't be easier to create and host a session in Satellite Sessions. Once you've got a DAW project that you want to start collaborating on, just follow these simple steps to start collaborating. You may have already done this. Add Satellite Sessions, VST or AU
Yeah.
new session. Choose a name for your session. Satellite Session knows what tempo, sample rate, and meter you're in, so you don't need to worry about that. Feel free to set the key and scale though. Just click to reveal the drop-down
Says
menu
you don't
and
have
make
to
your
make a
selection.
scale or anything either, so you can just leave it blank. I think that's for
You're now-
integration with like their other Captain plugins.
Okay, it says request is timed out. Okay, wait. I know what it is. It's me. Give me 1 sec. I need to fully approve my firewall. Right now I just let it through a little bit. I need to completely let it through the firewall. Yep. That's what it is. Yeah, allow any connection. I'll bet you this is going to work.
Are we talking about a third party firewall or just the stock?
Third party.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't have one. I just use the stock one. So
Yeah, I use Little Snitch. Little Snitch is great
Okay.
because it keeps all the plugins that you want. It keeps all the plugins that you like. Like, for example, if I download a free trial and it's trying to connect to the internet, like I don't want it to connect to the internet. You know what I mean? If it's
yeah.
if it's any kind of software that's a trial, I just genuinely don't want it to even phone home. I'm just like, no. Yeah, so I'm still connecting to the session, and it's got full access now, so I am really not sure why it isn't connecting. But, okay, yeah, see, request timed out. Well, let me make a new thing here. Let's just go for, like, I don't know, Chat Town Hangout. Try this again. Gets right up to the edge.
It's like their server's down or something.
You know, it could be. It's a new product, so you know. If anybody can get their session open, then I'll try to join it, and we'll see how that works. Yeah, operation canceled. So I feel like their session might be down.
Yeah.
I'm not. I feel like their servers might be bugging out or something, or it could just be me. I mean, I don't know. If anybody can let me know what is, if they have success with it, let me know, and I'll give it a go. Join session.
Yeah, so I've been trying to get it set up in Logic, and I open the plugin in Logic. It says, "Please add Satellite Sessions to your DAW to use this plugin," and it's like, it is in my DAW. I've opened it. It's in the plugin manager and everything.
So maybe add satellite MIDI to a MIDI track or something.
It's like
Yeah, I
I'm
was
pulled
thinking maybe
over. I
I need
can't
to
pull
have it
over any
added.
further.
Yeah. It's like that episode of South Park where Cartman is a police officer. He's like, "So Sarah, step out of the car, please." He's like, "Is in a house." It's like,
I
Sarah,
love that.
Sarah, step out of the car, please.
Ooh, respect my authority.
Pick my authority. South Park is so freaking good. Okay, well, I guess join a session. I mean, I just want to make a new one. Testing.
Yeah, it's still yelling at me with the MIDI. Boo.
Okay, well, maybe.
Some free things are too good to be true. If this thing was like up and running free, just doing the damn thing, I'd be fucking shocked.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, I think it's supposed to be, is the weird part. I feel like there's got to be something I'm doing wrong or broken.
I think
I'm
it's
leaning on
broken.
the I'm doing it wrong, because usually when I mess something up, that's what happens. Like, or usually when I try new things, this is what happens. Operation canceled.
We're all having the same experience. Like I'm
Send
literally
feedback.
doing the same thing you are.
Oh wait, I'm dumb. I figured it out now. Now I need to authorize it.
Oh well, I've authorized it, and I'm still at that same point. So, all right, cancel feedback. Let me see. No, I want to get feedback. Operation canceled, or should I just say, connection issues. To what email do I want to use here? There we go. Having trouble creating a session. My students, let's see. Both my students and I were having issues getting a session started. We feel it isn't on our end, though we could be wrong.
So I was kind of out of it while you guys were talking, trying to get it installed. Did you guys just get like the loading bar and then it says operation canceled?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting the same in Logic, so either we're all wrong or the server's down or something.
I think this would
It's
be
always
really
amazing to
clutch.
see like the money in these things, and then all of a sudden it's like all this money, all these graphics and images, and then like the actual product itself doesn't even operate. And you're like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? Brand new things break. I mean, the other day, the broadcast on Tuesday was perfect example of that. You know, stream crash like halfway through. So, yeah. So, well, I mean, I'm really eager to try this. I guess it'll have to be another day, but thanks for showing us that. That is really flippin' cool. I am very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
stoked
stoked on that
too.
virtual
Yeah, for
processing
sure.
you showed us too. That was friggin' super dope. Mix analog.
Oh yeah, that thing is really, really cool. The mixed analog is something extra. I mean, I don't even know how to really I don't even really know how to describe what it is that they do, because they're not I just don't know how you would actually hook up a compressor or something to the internet. I just don't, that's so far beyond my level of technical understanding. I just don't understand what kind of modification is even necessary to do that, because either
Yeah, I
they're
wonder if
using physical
that's
servos. Yeah, it's like either they're using physical servos to like move knobs, which I don't think they are, because I seem to remember that there was a video posted a while back of that service and like an interview with the creator and all that sort of stuff, where they were just networking, and it had like just a ton of devices hooked up, and they were all networked. And I don't get it, but I love the idea. So very eager. Travel Word, where'd he go? He disappeared.
someone with a lot more money on wiring than I can fucking fathom.
Oh yeah, cable. A lot of all the networking stuff. It can get really pricey really quickly. I do have to jump off of here. I am gonna go eat, and I've got some content to edit. And if anybody has any mixing or mastering questions, hit me up. I will do my best to answer them. Otherwise, I will see a couple of you tomorrow. And I love y'all. Take care.
Keep doing gangster things, brother. Enjoy your day.
Toodles.
Appreciate you all. Have a great day.
Yep. You too.
For sure.
Cheers.
Take it easy.